apratipam, without any hostility, avasthitam, remaining, daksha, atha, now, upper, water, upasprishya, washing hands and mouth, kruddha, angry, shaptum, to curse, prachakrame, began to. Translation. The sage Maitreya continued. Thus, Daksha, seeing Lord Shiva sitting as if against him, washed his hands and mouth and cursed him in the following words. Ayam tu deva yajna indro pendra dibir bhava saha bhagam na labdam dever deva ganadhamam. Synonyms, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. The demigods are eligible to share in the oblations of sacrifice, but Lord Shiva, who is the lowest of all the demigods, should not have a share. Purport. Because of this curse, Shiva was deprived of a share in the oblations of Vedic sacrifices. It was due to the curse of Daksha. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti comments in this section. Lord Shiva was saved from the calamity of taking part with other demigods, who were all materialistic. Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is not fitting for him to eat or sit with materialistic persons like the demigods. Thus, the curse of Daksha was indirectly a blessing for Shiva, who would not have to sit or eat with other demigods who were too materialistic. There is a practical example set for us by Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who used to sit on the side of a latrine and chant Hare Krishna. Many materialistic persons used to come to bother him and disturb his daily routine of chanting. So, to avoid their company, he used to sit by the side of a latrine where materialistic persons would not go because of the filth and the obnoxious smell. However, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was so great that he was accepted as the spiritual master of such a great personality as His Divine Grace Om Vishnupad Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. The conclusion is that Lord Shiva behaved in his own way to avoid materialistic persons who might disturb him in his prosecution of devotional service. Hare Krishna. We'll chant the Mangala Charan prayer. If you know it, please chant it alongside with me. Hare Krishna. Om
Hare
Agnyam
Krishna.
Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakammalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam परिचना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी कृष्णभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, बोलते नहीं हिंदी नाम नहीं. Hare Krishna. So for the past couple of weeks, we've been listening to this pastime of Daksha, who has cursed Lord Shiva. And what are the consequences? So many Vaishnavas in the preceding days have shared their realization. I'll make a small attempt, compiled from teachings of Srila Prabhupada, my Gurudev, so many of his god brothers, so many of you Vaishnavas, and I'll put it together. Most importantly is from this pastime, what are the lessons we can learn, and what is it that we can adopt and practice in our day-to-day life, which will help us improve our sadhana and get us closer to our goal. Hare Krishna. So in the Vedic tradition, the sacrifices, what is called yajna, is meant for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the Yajna Purush. He is known as the Yajna Purush, correct? So whatever is being offered is for Krishna, Hare Krishna. And from him, the demigods, who are basically the superintendents, you could say managers of different universal functions, whatever it be, water, air, uh, mud, earth, whatever be these functions, the sunlight, moonlight, there is a person, a personality, a Jivatma, who is in charge of operations of that. Now, it is not to say that Krishna is not capable. Of course, Krishna is capable, but he engages his devotees in different services. So it is these devas. So whatever is offered in the yajna, it is for Krishna, and through him, it goes to the devas. Hare Krishna. So the devas, there are uh, 33 crore, which is 33 million Devi Devatas, Matajis and Prabhus. Devas are Prabhus, Devis are Matajis. Devi Devatas, there are so many. In fact, even in our body, the eyelid, the opening and closing of the eyelid, there is somebody in charge of that. So each one, according to his position, gets a certain share of that, whatever is offered as the oblations. Hare Krishna. But Shiva, he is known as Mahadev. So there are devas and Maha. Maha means superior, great, great. He's the great demigod. So greater than all these other Devi Devtas. So he's the topmost. Now, why is he called Mahadev? Two reasons. First is Shiva is not a Jivatma. Shiva there's Krishna, who's the supreme, and then there are all the jivas, you, me, Devi Devtas, every living entity, right from the ant all the way up to the blue whale and all species in between, trees, birds, animals, everything is jiva. So there is one category called jiva. In jiva, there are about 400 types of classification based on the external as well as on the level of consciousness. I'm sorry, for the human beings, there are 400 categories classification. So we are all jiva, but Shiva is between Krishna and the jivas. So that is an independent, he's just the unique, independent jiva tattva, Shiva tattva. So we are the jiva, there is Krishna, and in between is Shiva. So he's not like an ordinary jiva. He's not even like an extraordinary jiva like the Devi Devtas or somebody like Brahma, who for 100 lifetimes has lived a perfect life without any mistake. That person gets the post of Brahma. So he's not even like that. He's in between. So that way he's superior. But all these considerations over and above that, Shiva is a great Vaishnava, the greatest Vaishnava, correct? Now that tells us that the path of bhakti is the topmost. And for a person who is a devotee, all rituals, all obligations, social niceties, this, that, he's above and beyond that. So, like this, Daksha, because of his ignorance, his arrogance, you know, Madhupati Prabhu was explaining, right? That when the king comes, the etiquette is everyone rises when the king comes in an assembly. You rise up. Also, in the Western culture, of course, now things deteriorate with time. In the Western culture, also, Prabhu's Matajis, and I know this, we were taught as children that when a lady enters the room, the gentleman stands up. The gentleman pulls the seat behind when the lady is sitting at a table and seats her comfortably. When you're walking on the road, the gentleman is on the side of the traffic. The gentleman opens door for the lady. The gentleman makes the lady sit in the car first, then comes around from the other side. So these are just nice social etiquette. So similarly, in the Vedic way, when the king enters, because of his rank and his position, you respect that, and standing up is a expression of your respect. So when Daksha enters this assembly, Shiva is in his own mood, absorbed in Krishna consciousness, fully absorbed. And all these things don't matter. So he did not stand. And Daksha, because of that pride, oh, I am Prajapati, I am the king, I have entered, and this person only has not entered. So he started finding faults with Shiva and started cursing him and blaspheming him. Now, in relationship, they are son in law, father in law. Daksha is the father in law. And for Shiva, these things are like water on the back of a duck. They say, no, it's waterproof, it just slides off. But from Daksha's end, he could not contain it. He went on and on and on and on and on. Hare Krishna. Now, someone may say, oh, he has cursed him, and in his anger, he said that Shiva will not get the share of the oblations. You know, demigods get different allocated portion. He will not get that benefit. For Shiva, he was aloof. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti explains that a Vaishnava doesn't care for anything which is material or materialistic persons. They are above and beyond all this. Respect, insult, my share, your share. All these are because of our ignorance, arrogance, and all the six enemies that we have in us. Because of that, we are all this greed, Kam, Krodh, Lo, Moha, Hankar, all these things, Matsarya, all these things we are hankering for. A Vaishnava is above that. So, in a manner, it was a blessing because he wouldn't have had to associate with the other materialistic demigods. Hare Krishna. So, from here we can understand a couple of things. What Srila Prabhupada emphasizes in so many of his writings, lectures, that association is key. Shastras say association is key. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, right? Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. You all know that verse. And association is so important. Whatever you associate it, you become that. Automatically, it's just a period of time. You start developing their characters, their quality, the way they speak, the way they think. So this is what association has effect on the consciousness. So Prabhupada has stressed avoid material people, because material people are detrimental to whatever bhakti that we are attempting to do. But how do you carry on? You live in a world. And right now, today's condition in Kali Yuga, overwhelming majority are not on the path of spirituality or bhakti. Overwhelming. The bhakti group is minuscule. So we have to deal with people. We have to deal even with family members who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, people whom we love, people whom we live together day and night, in our office, work colleague, in our neighborhood, anywhere that we go, the chances of us getting in contact or association of a devotee is fractional. Then what do you do? Do you become a hermit? Do you go and sit in Himalayas, Hare Krishna, with no one else? No. Bhakti is something like a lotus flower. In spite of all the surrounding, it rises above that. And the association that a devotee has to live as part and a productive, not an isolated, a productive member of society, an ideal father, an ideal husband, an ideal brother, what Lord Ramchandra showed us. That is what a devotee can do. And that is through, of course, practice. Correct? So that is why association is so important. When we associate with devotees, we get to associate in virtual forums today in the morning and evening. And then on Sundays, we get to meet devotees in person. Of course, person meeting is far, far superior than these virtual meetings. Virtual meeting is also better. Something is better than nothing. When we go in person, Romapad Maharaj will ask this question that Maharaj, we have Zoom. You can see the person, you can hear the person. And then, what is the difference by actually attending the class? So Maharaj said this when he gave a pastime of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was in India in the early days when he first went with his white-bodied devotees. They were traveling by train, so Prabhupada was right in front in the first class with a couple of his servants, and then the rest of the devotees were all the way behind in the third class because, very simple, can't afford the luxury. But to Guru Maharaj, you always give your best. Why? Because he's the representative of God. It's our attempt to always do the best. Prabhupada and all the Vaishnavas are aloof from all these material comfort. So Yamuna Mataji, a lot of love for Prabhupada. So she, in case you don't know, Yamuna Mataji is the Mataji. Every morning, if you attend Mangal Aarti, she's the person who has sung Govindam Adipurusham. You know that, right? When the curtains are opened, the deities are woken. Govindam. That is Yamuna Mataji. Even it became a super hit song in the Western world, the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Beautiful. So that is Yamuna Mataji. So she had so much desire to serve her spiritual master. She went all the way in front of the bogie and she's saying, Prabhupada, I want to serve you. Please tell me what can I do? With so much of emotion and so genuine. So Prabhupada says, can you serve me hot prasadam? Now, when you travel on journey, they had just made whatever, chapatis and dry items because there's no facility, right? So she went to the pantry car and she asked the people there that, my Guru Maharaj, I want to make some rice. They, shooed her away. Who's this foreign girl? Go away, go away. So she went to the ticket collector and, like a manager on the train. Can I do it? So she went here and then. She was getting desperate. Everyone was telling her, no, 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 no. And she was getting more and more desperate. My Guru Maharaj has made a request to me and I cannot fulfill it. So she was getting more and more anxiety and desperate. Finally, she went to the head who's in charge of the entire train. And she's saying, I have to serve my Guru Maharaj. And right now, all your employees are telling me that I can't do it. And if I'm not able to serve my Guru Maharaj, there is no point in me living. I will jump off this train and give my life up. That was her intensity. She was not making an empty threat. And this gentleman who saw her intensity, he says, okay, okay, don't worry. And he took her to the pantry car and he ordered all those cooks. Let her do what she wants. So she made simple boiled rice and she took it to Prabhupada. Now, of course, there are so many things we can learn from this pastime. But in context to this, what Romapad Maharaj was explaining, he says, if you are in a virtual Sangha, such an opportunity to serve, there's no question of it arising, the personal service. So an instruction we can get is whenever, let's say, a Guru Maharaj or a Vaishnav attends the assembly, we should always make it a point, as desperate as what Yamuna Mataji was, to attend. And the more we have this bhava, the more we have this feeling of wanting to associate and put that as a priority, then everything else comes in place. Typically, there may be weather considerations. Oh, it's really cold. Oh, the parking lot will be full. I have to park in the side street. Oh, it is dark. It is this, it is that. Sometimes, because of our mind, there is ego, even in our mind. Oh, last Sunday, this Prabhu told me this way. So I'm not going. Protest. Correct? So, like this, we should always hanker. Keep all these things aside, and no matter what, just push through it. Krishna will pull us. All it requires is a little attempt to push. Krishna will pull us. And when he pulls us, he brings us. And that's when we get this association. And there are these opportunities to serve. When you serve a Vaishnav, you're serving Krishna. And Krishna is so much more happier than on the altar if somebody goes, a pujari, and he is serving an agarbatti. Yes, that is important. But even when somebody comes, a new guest comes to the temple to greet that Prabhu and Mataji, Hare Krishna, explain to them what is what. Give them a little Mahaprasad. That makes Krishna so happy. So this is one thing we can understand what is the importance um, of association. Hare Krishna. Second thing is avoiding distractions. There are many distractions, especially these cell phone or screen. Digital distractions have replaced human interaction. Go to any public place, train, train station, anywhere, mall, any public place, everyone from, I've seen even 2-year-old children have that tablet and they're playing those games. Everyone is with that screen. And there are human beings all around us. Rather than interact with human beings, we prefer the distraction of a inanimate object. So we should try to avoid this. And Babaji Maharaj, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, he's taught by an example. Everyone would come to him, oh, please bless me. Oh, please this. Oh, please that. He would go and do his japa near the toilet, public toilet. Public toilets in India is, it's, you have to experience it to know it. So that's where he would go and do, because that is so important. He didn't want distraction. And here we have the luxury of a nice bedroom, temperature controlled. Morning you get up, it's all quiet. Correct? Not some filthy smell, noise, all that. What Babaji Maharaj had to go. But still, when we sit for japa, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh, that report hasn't come. I have to follow up on this. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, I need to charge my car. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, I need to get a few quotations. Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is what is going on in the mind. The environment is beautiful, but the mind is still distracted. Whereas Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj goes into a horrible environment because his mind is focused. So that, how is it we sadhakas, can we attain that state? Yes, it is attainable. And what it requires from us is intent. It all starts with our intent. I want to do it. Many a times when we say we can't do it, is a nice way of saying it's a euphemism for saying I won't do it. We ourselves do not know what we are capable of. And please understand, dear devotees, we are under the shelter of the Guru Parampara and Krishna. Just by having that small, teeny weeny intent with determination, you could have the intent, but there's no follow through. With determination, then the entire Guru Parampara pulls us from this place. And Maya is nothing in front of the Guru Parampara and the Krishna. She's subservient. Hare Krishna. And of course, as I said, we have to make devotional service a priority. And very important, finally, we'll bring it to a close and ask if anyone has questions. There are 2 minutes. Is humility. Humility spoken so much. Trinadapi Sunichena, everybody knows that verse. Everybody. But to practice it, there are so many opportunities in day-to-day life, not just in the Vaishnav Sangha Association, but also amongst family members, amongst colleagues, on the road with strangers. So many opportunities are there. And if you're just a little thoughtful, if you're just a little mindful, instead of just being reactive, yeah, stimuli will come. My Gurudev says, what's the difference between Swami and a Godas? Goswami and a Godas. It's not that the sannyasis and the Goswamis don't get temptations. They don't get these distractions. They have learned to tell the mind, no, don't indulge in it, whatever it be. Whereas a Godas, when the stimuli comes, reacts to it. So act on something, don't react. This is the instruction that we have. Hare Krishna. And then whatever reversals come, always look at it as a blessing, as what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Maharaj has said. Daksha cursed him, you won't get the share, Shiva. But it was a blessing, he didn't have to. So try to look at the other thing rather than be so attached in it that, oh, I did so much, such a plan, and everything went to failure. There's always something good which will come out of it. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'm sorry, it's already 7 o'clock. Any questions, comment, corrections, please post it on Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Over to you, Madhupati Prabhu.
Thank you, Mr. I'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead. And we'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Praladesha, Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Lingam, Ugraviram
Mahavishnu Dharantam Sarvamkam
Nrsimham Keshavam Badram Nityam Nityam Namyam Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Assembled Vaishnavas, Manchakalpatarubhaya, Kripa Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namah.
Brinda ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everybody. Hari Bol. Hare